It's Week 17 of the National Football League. And we'll see Michael Thomas on the doorstep of another milestone in a great season, approaching 1,200 yards. It's the Saints and the Eagles coming up next.
We're just a stone's throw from the Delaware River. We've got some water to contend with ourselves. A steady rain falling at Lincoln Financial Field. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the New Orleans Saints and the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you take a look at the Eagles. Their offense is one that doesn't rely too heavily on just one guy. They like to spread things around as best they can.
You're right about that. It's a diverse unit, and they like to run their offense by what they call game plan, meaning each and every week they study the opponent, they probe its weaknesses, and they move the ball around that way. They emphasize who's going to get it based on what they think they'll accomplish in that game. Other teams, they're a system team. They're going to run what they run no matter what. I like this style of offense. It suits them well.
Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. Taken in at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They're bringing them out in his 8th year out of Florida State, the former Heisman Trophy winner, Jameis Winston.
And he's had a great season so far throwing the football. Very likely could go over 4,000 yards with a good performance here. And even in an age of passing first, that is no small accomplishment.
Jameis going to look to throw right away. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards on the game's opening play.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Jameis to throw it. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A very solid gain of 27. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Winston to give. It's Kamara. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Throwing. Winston. A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
Anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try to hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
On 3rd down, Winston. Now he's forced out left. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete. Winston to the sideline here on 4th down, and Will Lutz gets set for a New Orleans field goal try. From the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by Lutz is good, and the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. And all in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well, so your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The 2nd-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Nothing flashy there, the slant to the slot.
Oh, and the frustration for the defensive guys, because it's a quick play, and you know it's going to be a bang-bang play in terms of the throw and the catch, and then he's able to absorb the contact and complete it.
And Hurts able to show off some of that elusiveness as he slides to the ground there, and in the process picks up the first down. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20. Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. And some good running out of the gates as he takes this up to the 33. 12 more yards there and another first down. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Right back to Sanders on first down. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. The numbers for Sanders last week: 24 carries, 98 yards, and a score. And while they locked up the #1 seed last week, I don't expect them to change what they do in the running game. I expect them to continue to play the exact same way, but with a change-up in personnel, because they want to make sure that their #1 guy has fresh legs for the playoffs. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. Another run with Sanders. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
Okay, break.
They'll run with Sanders. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a second and goal. From the 2 now, second and goal. Hurts sets up to throw it. And Goddard's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. A great effort there. With a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Eagles have answered that early field goal to take a first quarter lead. And this will be caught as they convert here for 2. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft,
looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week, and now another here in this first quarter.
Sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and he can't do it all on one throw.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, second and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 62 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders with his 14th rushing touchdown on the year. And they're able to add on to their advantage. Hurts will throw. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. So 2 successful 2-point tries now for them.
And you know what it does? It gives you a boost, a huge one for your team because, hey, you're dominating them now. They can't stop you either scoring touchdowns or 2-point conversions. But how about the defense? You don't know what to do at this stage. You can't stop them in any direction.
Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
The Saints with the football here to begin quarter number 2. And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, Washington.
That's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving the running back a crease to run through. And that's a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Winston. Complete to Washington. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards there, good for a Saints 1st down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Here's Winston. On a slant, complete to Michael Thomas. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 26. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Winston, a handoff. This is Jones. And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Winston. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Up the middle, Jones. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st. 3rd and short yardage, Winston. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. When you're down a couple of scores like this, CD, you can't afford too many plays that go in the wrong direction like that one.
Yeah, when you take a good look at it broadly, sacks are better than giving up an interception. But where they are on the scoreboard, they've got to get rid of all of that and just create positive plays for themselves in order to have a chance.
The kick by Lutz is good. And the lead is down to 10 now at 16-6. So the margin shrinks a bit as back-to-back drives here for them, and with field goals.
Yeah, we know no one's turning down 3, especially in the 1st half, but you've got to finish these drives in the end zone. That's got to be a priority. Nice to have a reliable kicker, but outside of his agent, you know you'd rather him kick 1-pointers instead of 3-pointers.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now back to work for Miles Sanders in the Philly offense. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Another run here with Sanders. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. So, Charles, you know, for this offense, we've been talking all year about how difficult it would be to run the table. And you gave me your chances early in the year. You thought maybe 25%. A few weeks ago, you thought closer to 50, but not quite 50. Now, here they are. 15-0. This is happening, isn't it?
I think it is, Brandon, because I do believe this team is too invested, too well coached to fall asleep at the switch now. And I think it ultimately benefits them to stay engaged all the way through the season, because make it to the finish line, then they get the open week to refresh and re-energize. But if you get off the gas now, that can really hurt you come playoff time.
They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive alive. Throwing is Hurts. But he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Shotgun snap, and then the give to Sanders. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him up the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown, 29 yards. And the Eagles will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game, and no signs of slowing down.
The point after through the raindrops sounded good, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. After the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Michael Thomas now heading back onto the field. As we find ourselves in Week 17, he's already well over the 1,000-yard mark. So there's no pressure there. We'll just see where this final tally ends.
And I love what you just talked about there. There's no pressure. There's pride, right? So the higher he can take that number and rank with his peers, everyone wants to be #1. He wants to post that number like a good golfer, right? Post the best score and go to the clubhouse and kick back and see if anyone can match it.
Well, and he's the go-to guy here out wide. We'll see what they can do with him in this game. Defensively, they have a big challenge on their hands. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't send.
And this will be caught at the 30. And he's going to step out of bounds all the way down at the 20. A big play there just before halftime. 44 yards. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Winston. Again, he's got that man Landry. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome into our EA Sports Halftime Report. It's a busy Week 17 of the regular season, so let's get right to it. We begin on this New Year's Day up in the Big Apple. Last night, they got to see the ball drop in Times Square. Today, they get Indianapolis taking on the New York Giants. And it's the Colts on top as that one approaches halftime. Michael Pittman, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. From there, let's get down to Baltimore to check in on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they have the lead over the visiting Steelers as that game has gone to halftime. Lamar Jackson with 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you.
And they've gone to the half in that ball game with the visiting Browns out on top. Nick Chubb has a touchdown run. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Saints. And despite the fact that they're looking up at a double-digit deficit at halftime, they were able to move the football through the air in those first 2 quarters. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. Both these teams getting a chance to dry out, maybe change their cleats if need be, but halftime's just about over. Time to get back to it. And for the call of the second half, here's Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Well, we're probably not the first, but all of us at EA Sports certainly want to wish you and yours a happy and prosperous new year. And as a celebration of that, a big slate of NFL games on this Sunday, Week 17. Second to last weekend with the NFL docket. Later tonight, the battle for Los Angeles, Rams and Chargers, 5:15 Pacific at SoFi. And then on Monday night, Charles and I are on to Cincinnati. Bills and Bengals, 2 cold weather teams in what will be a frigid Paul Brown Stadium. To throw on 2nd and 10, Hurts. And that is incomplete. It's been a struggle for him accruing yards in this game passing the football. So there he said, hey, I'm going to try to chuck it deep, but another incompletion.
Has to be a little bit frustrating because of what you just described. It's been a struggle for him here in the second half, hoping for one big shot to get him out of the doldrums.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big play there on the catch and run, and it'll give them a fresh set of downs. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Hurts. And once again, this is Sanders. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. That's swung out wide to Sanders. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
It's the gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 32-yard line.
60 Vikings, 60 Vikings.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. They'll go again with Sanders. He's able to get 6. A nice pickup down to the 21. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll run with Sanders. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 118 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Now Sanders. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
This offense continues to be a hot knife through butter. 3 drives, 3 scores, and knocking on the door again on drive number 4. Oh, the sneak. It's Hurts. And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Jalen Hurts scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Eagles take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Taken in at the 3. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. Winston now to throw on first down. Over the middle into the hands of Michael Thomas. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Now a first carry for their fullback. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Let's face it, you always want a team full of guys who can get you first downs and big plays of all styles, but you've got to have a big man. You can just turn and hand it to, and he can be dependable in picking up first downs.
Winston's throw caught by Olave. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A give to the fullback on the dive. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
Here's a throw dropped off to his fullback. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
It's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game. But in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
Play fake. Winston. They'll get this out to Kamara. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And he'll be brought down at the 27. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Winston. That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass. Olave over the middle, and he's going to be brought down at about the 16. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They run it again with Kamara. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Winston now. And he wisely will throw that one away.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number.
And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Adam Prentice, his first touchdown on the year. And the Saints are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter. Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead will be cut down to 14. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. From the 6. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. This offense returns to the field, and the former Penn State star Miles Sanders, we're going to look at him.
He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. The Eagles on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Hurts to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
4th down, no problem. 19 yards that time, and now it's 1st and 10. Here's Sanders. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Let's go now.
Second down, back to Sanders. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Now a carry for Sanders. And some room to maneuver. And they'll be stopped at the 28 on a play that started at the 14. They pick up 14. Another run with Sanders. And they'll get him down inside the red zone at the 14. It's also a gain of 14. First down. It was a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling, and this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake it the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Ready.
On the sneak, it's Hurts. And he is over the line for another rushing touchdown.
Is he a quarterback or is he a tailback?
Jalen Hurts, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Eagles are closing in on that 16-0 record as they add on to their lead. Elliott on for the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it was capped off by the quarterback sneak for 6. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. Meanwhile, Winston's throw caught by his receiver, Hill.
And he gets this up to the 34, out of bounds there. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Winston. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Now they got to get to the line quickly. On 1st and 10, Winston.
And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Now Winston. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As he'll get it with still 1:20 left to go in the game. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Desperation time. Winston on 4th down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And this one is incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Hurts sets up to throw it. He's going to drop this down to Sanders. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts.
And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. And that's complete to Sanders. And out of bounds right around the 20. And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Open man, he's got him. That's Smith for the Philadelphia touchdown. Devontae Smith,
A 20-yard touchdown.
and the Eagles have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the 4th. Another touchdown here in the 4th quarter, and Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball, and sometimes even your special teams, and that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. So the drive there took 6 plays.
And it was finished off by a touchdown from Devontae Smith.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men.
They're going to take this up close to the 40, so really good starting field position.
One last shot now for Winston.
Downfield throw tip, but he still got it. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
So flying Eagles fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And when you break it down, this was just a thoroughly dominating performance.
And I truly thought that we'd have a tight game coming into this. I think you felt the same way based on our conversation after the production meeting. but obviously not the case. And how about just how it broke open? You know, you just all of a sudden, whoosh, there it is. This thing is pretty much done. And the crowd stayed with it to celebrate because they're like, let's enjoy watching our team play this well. This is fun.
So for Philadelphia, they haven't